Hi everyone, it's Jen and I am here with Kelly.
Hi.
She's one of my past clients and I just wanted to talk to her today a little bit about her home buyer story and how she sold her home. So a lot of times people come to me and they have a home to sell and they also want to purchase a home and they don't know where to begin. And so Kelly and her husband came to me and they had that exact same scenario, but they had their own idea on how they wanted to do things. So Kelly and her husband wanted to sell their home, but they didn't want to buy a home right away. So what we did was we sold their home a couple years ago. It was still a really busy market, definitely a seller's market. So we posted their home online. It did sell right away and they got multiple offers, which is pretty common still
like
today.
6 offers.
Yeah.
I swear.
And what they did then was they moved temporarily into a rental so that they could take their time on finding the right home. So do you want to talk about that process, about how long it took and why you guys decided to do that?
Yeah, it was in the summer of 2015 and we found out we were pregnant with our second child and our first home was a 2-bedroom home and we already had a son, and pretty much when we found out we were like, okay, we need to get the house ready, and he took like 6 weeks to like get everything ready, and we had Jen come over and tell us what needed to be done, and we just took 6 weeks and got it all done and put it on the market, and it was like within 4 hours, like all these multiple offers. But yeah, it was really nice. We moved into an apartment after I had my daughter in December. We pretty much 2 weeks later told Jen we wanted to look for a house and looked for a house, found a house, and closed in 2 months, and we're coming up now on 3 years of being in our new house, so it's really exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting. One of the things that I want to talk about too is she said, that it happened within 4 hours, and if you do listen to your realtor, and that's what we're there for, and if you take our advice, we typically know what buyers are looking for. We know the things that you need to focus on to get it ready. You're going to be moving anyways, so we might be telling you to clear out the clutter. And Kelly also knew with a baby, there comes a lot of equipment with that. You've got the swing, you've got, everything else that goes along with having a baby. And they knew that they didn't want to clutter up their house with more stuff and then try to sell it. So that's why they decided to sell before they had the baby, because it was a smaller home. But they did everything that I told them to do, and it showed. It's short-term sacrifice for long-term success. You don't mind the inconvenience of a double move and putting some of your stuff in storages, then you know exactly what you're going to get from selling your home. So I'm talking monetary. So you know exactly what money you're going to be, what you're going to have to put down on a new home, which also helps because that takes a little bit of the guesswork out of it, because it is kind of puzzles that are moving and getting it all together and making it all work. And it takes some pressure off that now you can sell your house, you can accept a quick closing because you don't have to find something right away. So that helps too.
Yeah, it was totally worth it in the end.
What were some of your expectations? Did you have high expectations, or what were you expecting when you put your home on the market?
It was my first time selling our home, so I really didn't know what to expect. I definitely did not think it was going to happen in that short amount of period. Being newly pregnant, it's like all the emotions, like we're pregnant, now we're selling our house that we brought our first child home in, and it was our first house, so it's like going through all the emotions. But yeah, no, I trusted you, and we have like the best person in our corner, and if we ever buy another house or sell our house, it'll always be you. Like it's just, I was like, oh, she's gonna take good care of us, I don't have to worry. Like really, buying and selling the house was the easiest thing we've ever done in our life. I tell Frank that all the time, because it was like, didn't really have to really do much. I mean, besides get the house ready and stuff like that, but it wasn't as stressful as people say.
What were some of the challenges that you guys faced when purchasing your home?
So we got our offer and they accepted it like the first time, and then when the appraisal came back, it came back low. So then we had to go back and talk, and you took care of it, and
we negotiated with the seller, and we came to terms on that. So there's always little bumps in the road, typically on every transaction, but like I said, if you have two good agents that are working together and realistic buyers and sellers, there's nothing that we can't overcome. What was your favorite moment of your home buying process?
I think the cool part, we went to go look at I think it was like 5 or 6 homes that day. And we had both our kids with, which that sounds stressful because
it was fun for me because I love babies.
It was fun. That moment we walked into that house, that I'm like, this is the one. Like, I want this house, and this is the house for us. And seeing Frank kind of figure out what he wanted to do in all the rooms, and so that was kind of cool. But
Yeah.
I think just the 4 of us going through the houses together was cool.
Yeah, and wouldn't you say, you know, if you walk into a home and you don't know if it's for you, then it's probably not the home for you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you feel like it's something that you knew almost immediately?
Mm-hmm.
It's a feeling that you get.
Mm-hmm. And I still love it. I still think it'll be my forever house.
What is some advice that you would give to someone who's thinking about buying a home, whether it's their first home or maybe they're going to do the same type of process? They have a home to sell and they're also going to be buying a home.
I'd say having an open mind is really big, and just having good communication with your realtor, and you know, looking ahead to kind of see what you want. With our first house, we went through, I think it was like 8 houses, maybe even more, because it was our first time. We didn't really know what we wanted. Mm-hmm. It was more of a starter home, and same with this house. Like, we went through a couple houses over a couple days, and you know we wanted something bigger, but just kind of talking about it. And you know, Frank and I talked a lot about what we wanted, and you know, the things that were important to us. So that was probably the biggest thing. But don't get frustrated. I know it's easy to do, but don't. Like, it's...
And everything happens for a reason.
Right. You said that so many times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if this house is meant to be, it'll be yours, Kelly. Like, I remember, you know, a little bit when the appraisal came in low. You're like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And that was just like the biggest thing I needed to trust.
I've never had anybody not get a home and then still regret it. Like, we always find something better that fits them better in whatever aspect it was. If they miss out on 1 or 2, it's, you know, because their home's not on the market yet.
Yeah.